All right, good afternoon, fans. Welcome back to Flagler Gymnasium. We're just about set here for today's match, the fourth match of the day in the Flagler Saints Classic. On the left side of your screen, we have the Crusaders from Belmont Abbey squaring off against, of course, your Flagler Saints. Flagler coming into play 3-3. They're coming off a loss yesterday to Nova Southeastern. The Sharks, a formidable opponent. They were undefeated coming into play, hadn't lost more than one set all year. Flagler took them to 5. That was wire to wire, back and forth. It was a great match for the Saints. A lot to like about what Coach Lopez is doing with his squad early on this season. On the other side, Belmont Abbey trying to catch a little bit of fire here. Only one win on the year with 6 losses to go along with that total. We'll try and start some, or gain some momentum, here against the Saints on their home court. For the Crusaders, Ella Schellenberg, Bailey Teeter, Tyler Case, Lola Sultanfuss, Riley Nickel, Lily Marsh, and Chloe Lauder are the starters. You see there for the Saints, the usuals, Alexi Bassler at libero, Meredith Dixon and Colby Stemkowski as well, followed by Molly Boyd, who had a huge night last night against Nova Southeastern. That would have been a tough night without Molly Boyd. And then rounding it out, Jordan Berglund, Claire Sheedy, and finally Cassidy Bloom for the Saints. So it'll be Belmont Abbey first on the serve. Lily Marsh on the left side of your screen on the far side. She is ready and we are off. Cassidy Bloom plays it well. Here's Claire Sheedy setting it up for Dixon. Played nicely there by Marsh. That one's deflected by Stemkowski, and the Saints strike first. Yeah, last night for the Saints, the whole squad got involved. It was Boyd, Bloom, and Dixon each with 8 kills. Claire Sheedy, we mentioned it several times yesterday, doesn't have a single game under 30 assists. She had 38 out of the 41 assists for the Saints as Molly Boyd picks up her first point of the contest there. Yeah, we also have to give a shout out to Cassidy Bloom. Had a career high 14 digs last night against Nova Southeastern. Lexi Bassler on the serve. She added 13 on the contest as well. This one's up in the air. Bassler makes a nice play, but it rattles off the side of the net. And the Crusaders of Belmont Abbey pick up their first point of the contest. Some players to watch for the Crusaders, if you're not familiar with them. Tyler Case, the leader offensively, number 7, has 54 kills coming into play in this one. Oh, Sheedy just a little early for Molly Boyd. They're all smiles as Boyd chuckles, knows she just jumped a little bit too early there. But as we mentioned, Tyler Case leads the Crusaders in overall points coming into play with 62. We're going to watch Ella Schellenberger, number 1. She's almost the Claire Sheedy for the Crusaders, coming into play with 164 assists. Teeter's shot is played nicely by the Saints. Berglund free balls it over. Blocked by Boyd, dug out very nice by Lily Marsh. And there's another point to the Saints. You can feel the impact of Molly Boyd on the front lines early. And the Saints are back out in front early on. It's now 3-2 here in the first set. First time we're seeing Amelia Fitzpatrick on the serve. The sophomore from Ocala. That one's played nicely by Marsh. And just sending it over was Schellenberg. Here's Sheedy setting it up beautifully for Molly Boyd. And if you're a Crusaders fan, this is a bad sign. Molly Boyd is ready to go here for the Saints. Their lead's up to 2. Fitzpatrick once again. Read very nicely by Bailey Teeter for the Crusaders. Just lets it go here on the near side. And the point goes to the Crusaders. So we'll see Kylie Coughlin for the first time for Belmont Abbey. Sophomore from Wisconsin, formerly with UNC Pembroke. And the lefty shoots that one over dugout. That time it was Berglund. Here's Boyd, ever so softly over the arms of Tyler Case. Molly Boyd once again with a point. And the Saints lead is back up to 2. Here's Cassidy Bloom. As we mentioned, had a big game last night against the Sharks of Nova Southeastern. Schellenberg setting it up nicely. Bloom able to dig that one out. Here's Sheedy setting up Berglund. Just rattles around the net. You saw the defense there from Kaylin Myers and Lola Saltonfuss for the Crusaders. It's a nice effort by Berglund, but unfortunately for the Saints, the point will go the other way. This time it's Mary Grace Hogue on the serve, and a miscommunication there by the Saints. Bassler, Sheedy, and Berglund all in the area. Nobody made a move for the ball, and that's a gift to the Crusaders early on. Belmont Abbey College out in Belmont, North Carolina. So shout out to Belmont, North Carolina. Not to be confused with Belmont University in Nashville, of course. Here's Sheedy, sets up Berglund, beautifully placed spike. Right on the edge of the far side there. The first time we've seen Jordan Berglund finish one today. Get used to it, folks. So here's Ella Wicker. First time she's checked into the game today. Has 5 aces on the year. No luck there. That one's softly sent over by Case. Stemkowski this time, no luck. Case, oh, read it wrong. Thought she was going high instead of low. Barely able to get a fist on that one. It goes right into the ground, and it's another point to the Saints. Once again, it's Wicker. Sheedy setting up Stemkowski, softly sends it over. Dug out nicely by Marsh. Here's Case. Wicker is ready for it. Sheedy setting up Bloom. And this point's going back and forth. Here's Case again. Blocked by Stemkowski, unable to hang on to it. And it falls just at her feet. This point will go to Belmont Abbey. So it's Riley Nickel, senior leader from Talmadge, Ohio, formerly of Youngstown State. Hey, shout out Youngstown, of course. Fitzpatrick able to play it back to Berglund, who just sends it over. Job well done by Amelia Fitzpatrick. And Bassler, oh, well placed there. Hard to tell who that was with our vantage point. Looks like it was Chloe Louder up front there, the middle blocker. We're all knotted up at 7. Bloom pays it up. Here's Sheedy setting it up for Stemkowski. And she's able to finish at the feet of Kylie Coughlin. Perfectly placed finish there from Stemkowski. And we talked about it a lot last night. You're going to want to focus in on Berglund, Boyd, and Sheedy, but then you have Stemkowski. You have Fitzpatrick. You have Meredith Dixon, Cassidy Bloom. So many different weapons offensively for the Saints. It doesn't just have to be 1 or 2 players. As that time, Berglund dove a little early. You see Colby Stemkowski giving her a chuckle there. Once again, we're tied up. It's 8-8. Here's Tyler Case. Sends that one read well by Bloom and Bassler. They just let it go past the line. A little too strong from Tyler Case. We'll see her strength on display. And she's being set up for these finishes. You saw her warming up. I was getting nervous if one of those bounced up here. Here's Jordan Berglund. Played by Marsh. Hits off the ceiling. Read well that time by Schellenberg. Blocked by Stemkowski. The ball goes up. Stemkowski. They're going to give the point to the Saints. Well, it would have gone their way anyways. Looked like there was a violation, but Stemkowski was ready for it. Excellent job up front. Once again, it's Berglund. Fires it over, played by Marsh. Schellenberger sets up Teeter. Teeter, her shot rattles around. Bassler was ready for it. Schellenberger setting it up again. Bassler digs it out brilliantly. Here's Dixon. This time it's Teeter. Bassler once again is ready for it. Sheedy sets up Stemkowski. And the timing a little bit off here for the Saints as Stemkowski jumped a little too early. We've seen that a few times from different players on the Saints. But no matter, I'm sure they'll get that in rhythm as this match moves forward. Flagler still in front, 10-9 early in the first set. Marsh fires it, Bloom plays it. Sheedy setting it up for Dixon, just sends it on over. Played nicely by Sheedy. Bassler setting up Bloom. Bloom, we'll see, was it deflected? It was! This point's gonna go to the Saints. Thought we saw a little bit of a redirect there, but once again, from our vantage point, hard to tell. Nonetheless, a job well done by Cassidy Bloom. She's starting to catch fire early on this season. Schellenberger sets it up. Boyd ready for it, even after she jumped a little early. This one's dug out by Bassler, and they're going to call a violation. Looks like they got Molly Boyd there, and the point goes to the Crusaders. Ella Schellenberg on the serve. The senior from Jacksonville, Florida, attended the Bowles School up just north of here. This time, first serving error into the net of the day. But we're happy to have Ella Schellenberg back in Jacksonville. We'll see what she has in store for us. Here's Amelia Fitzpatrick. Sends one over, played nicely by Case. This one blocked by Boyd. Excellent job by Molly Boyd. She has been a menace up front for the Saints. And the lead is up to 3, now 13-10. Seeing a lot of rotations from the Crusaders. Saw Katie Brookins try and finish that one. Boyd, another nice block. Tyler Case was ready for it. And Sheedy, sneaky play with the left hand there by Sheedy. We saw that a few times last night. You're so used to Sheedy on the on the assists, and that time she says, "No, I'll do it myself." So Belmont Abbey and Coach Tony Fox are going to call timeout here. We'll stay with you as it's 14-10 midway through the first set. Going to thank some of our sponsors. As always, hey, being from New Jersey, I have to shout them out. Jersey Mike's. Stop into Jersey Mike's after the game. Get a number 7, and as always, you have to get it Mike's way. In addition to that, Flagler Hospital of St. Augustine. Thank them for being a proud partner of the Saints. And finally, Birchall & Company. Big fan of Birchall & Company myself. Love all the good work they're doing. So you have to love what you're seeing from Coach Lopez and his girls so far. Back and forth at first, but they seem to be separating a little bit from Belmont Abbey. If the records are any indication, you would think this should be a Saints win. But we've seen a lot of good competition throughout the weekend, so anything can happen at the Flagler Saints Classic. So out of the timeout, once again, Flagler up 14-10. They will be on the serve. Still Amelia Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick sends it over. Played by Brookins. Brookins on the finish. Just within the line. That was a close call. Couldn't tell if it deflected off a Saint anyway. But they're going to give the point to the Crusaders. A nice job by Brookins, not a starter, but some valuable minutes off the bench as her teammates high-five her over on the sideline. Dug out by Berglund. Sheedy goes low, sets it up for Boyd, who just fires it up in the air. And they're going to give the point to the Saints. Looks like Lola Saltonfuss may have reached over the net there. Regardless, Jordan Berglund was ready to dig that one out. Nonetheless, the point goes to the Saints. Here's Cassidy Bloom on the serve. This one set up for Saltonfuss, played nicely by Fitzpatrick. Sheedy to Berglund, deflects off the right arm of Marsh. She knew it immediately, tells her teammates, oh, that one was on me. Hard to do much about that shot from Berglund, though. So much power.
Timeout, Crusaders.
And the Crusaders are going to take another timeout. So they are already out of timeouts here in the first set, and we still have plenty of time. We're going to take our first commercial break here. But don't go anywhere, folks. Rest of the first set coming up next with the score, Flagler 16, Belmont Abbey 11. All right, fans, out of the timeout here. Once again, if you're just joining us, Flagler out to a 5-point lead here in the first set. I was just chatting with my colleagues Sammy and Jared here. They're good people, also from Jersey. So, hey, New Jersey's taking over Flagler Gymnasium. Here's Sheedy setting it up for Fitzpatrick. Just a little too much power on that one. And it looks like that was a well-timed timeout from Coach Tony Fox as her girls pick up the first point out of the break. This time it's Mary Grace Hogue. We've seen her a little bit today. Just over the line. Beautifully read. Berglund, Bassler, and Bloom, the three Bs of the back line for Flagler. They were ready to go there. And that was a closer call than you would have thought based on their reactions, but nonetheless, another point to the Saints. Here's Ella Wicker. Seems like good things happen when Wicker's in the game as Schellenberger sets up Case. Gets a little under it. Easy play for Bloom. Berglund dug out by Schellenberger. Marsh setting it up, deflected off the hands of Colby Stemkowski. That time it was Kaylin Myers for the Crusaders. Myers, a freshman from Downers Grove, Illinois. Clearly a lot to love there with Kaylin Myers. She's got a bright future if the early minutes of this contest are any indication. So this one clearly out of bounds. Berglund and Bloom, no debate there. They let it go the minute that left the hands of Riley Nickel. Here's Claire Sheedy, second on the team in aces entering play, has 10. Almost had one there, but it was dug out nicely by Coughlin. This one blocked by Stemkowski. Looks like a group effort of Stemkowski and Dixon. But they're going to say violation against the Saints, so apologies for the excitement, folks. That point going to go to Belmont Abbey. This time Case. Oh, Berglund knew it the minute she went low, just out of reach. There's the first ace for the Crusaders today. Hey, they're climbing their way back, only down 3 late in the first. Once again, it's Case. Berglund ready for it this time. Sheedy sets it up for Stemkowski, and it rattles off the face of Chloe Lauder.
Point Saints.
Lots of love about the front line for the Saints. Stemkowski and Boyd have made a huge impact so far. And then the defense from Bloom, Bassler, Berglund, and Fitzpatrick, they have been dynamite. Oh, and Berglund just a little too low. Didn't look like it when it left her hand, but nonetheless, right into the net. And the point goes to Belmont Abbey. So it's Lily Marsh this time. Fires it. Played by Bloom. Sheedy setting it up for Dixon. Just sneaks it in the line. That could not have been any better placed by Dixon, right on the corner on the near side. And Flagler's the first to reach 20 as they lead by 4. Here's Bassler. Played nicely by Case. Schellenberger setting it up for Brookins. Deflects it off of Dixon. Nonetheless, violation. And although it looks like a nice play by Brookins, unfortunately for her and the Crusaders, the point goes to the Saints. Bassler once again. Oh, a little too much steam on that one. Almost hit one of our younger fans walking through the door there into the gym. Glad to see it just barely avoided them. 21-17, the Saints lead here in the first set. It's Ella Schellenberger on the serve. Easy play for Berglund. Sheedy sets it up for Bloom. And Case was ready for it. Here's the finish. Oh, well done by Cassidy Bloom as she digs that one out. Sheedy tries to get a little fancy there. She knew it the minute it left her hands, it was going out of bounds. And it's another point to the Crusaders, now 21-18. Schellenberg. Here's Sheedy and Molly Boyd. Too easy for Molly Boyd. Boyd has been excellent to start the season, especially this weekend, but it doesn't look like the Crusaders have an answer for her. Fitzpatrick on the serve. Fires that one. They let it go just barely over the line. That was very well read by Brookins and Case. It's back to a 3-point contest. So once again, Katie Brookins, the freshman, sends it over. Berglund plays it easily. Here's Sheedy to Boyd. Deflected nicely off of Case. And that one's sent out of bounds by Sultan Fuss. And we're trading points now. Flagler back in front by 4. Now 23-19. Bloom sends it over, played by Case. And they're going to say violation. I'm not sure about that one. Neither are the Crusaders. Regardless, it's a point to the Saints, so we will take it. And now it's set point. 24-19, Flagler in front. What magic does Cassidy Bloom have as she serves it? Dug out by Marsh. Schellenberger over to Case. It deflects around, and the point goes to the Saints, as does the first set. So a great start for Flagler. They take the first set by a score of 25-19. We're going to take a break for a few minutes here. Before we go, I want to shout out Carrabba's Italian Grill. In addition to Carrabba's, Evans Automotive and Tire Center. Call 904-819-6599 for all your automotive and tire needs. We'll be back in a second with the second set. Don't go anywhere, folks. All right, fans, we're just out of the timeout here, getting set for the second set of this contest between, of course, the Flagler Saints and the Crusaders of Belmont Abbey. I was walking into the game, I smelled that popcorn out there. It's a shame that it's a cash-only snack bar because this announcer does not carry cash. But if you're hungry after the game, check out 5 Star Pizza. Bigger, better, faster, only at 5 Star Pizza, proud sponsor of the Saints. Flagler took the first set there, 25-19. We're going to continue their strong play. We mentioned they've lost, they're 3-3 coming into play. They lost last night to a very good Nova Southeastern team, but the signs are there. Flagler's looking great early on this season, and we mentioned it, Coach Lopez has just gotten them better and better and better in the, well, now the third year of his reign as head coach. Similar lineups to start off the second set. Schellenberger out there with Brookins and Sultanfuss. Of course, Nickel in there with Case as well. Looks like we're waiting for Lily Marsh and Lexi Bassler to check in. Marsh does check in for Chloe Lauder. And there we go. Lexi Bassler just having a conversation with Coach Asima Mulayik in her first year on the coaching staff with the Saints. Another new coach, Christina North. Happy to have her here in St. Augustine. It'll be Lexi Bassler on the left side of your screen. On the far side, she'll be the first to serve for the Saints. Bassler ready to go, fires it in there, and Case steps out of the way. Her and Marsh. A lack of communication there. Nonetheless, a point for the Saints. They take an early lead here in the second set. Once again, it's Bassler. This time, Case plays it. Schellenberg setting up Brookins. Just a mistimed play there. Brookins went up a little early, had to adjust back to the ball. That's always going to be a tough one, especially with that sort of angle, as you saw. Lexi fires one over. Case digs it out. Schellenberg setting up Brookins. It's blocked. Molly Boyd once again. We mentioned Belmont Abbey does not seem to have an answer for Molly Boyd early on. She has been dominant up front for the Saints. And she extends the lead to 3 here early in the second set. Bassler, a lot of power on that one. It just stayed in the air too long. And the Crusaders are finally on the board. Ella Schellenberg on the serve. Like we mentioned, she's the feeder for Belmont Abbey as this one deflects off her out of bounds. Molly Boyd with another point. Get used to hearing Molly Boyd's name. She has been excellent to start this contest. First time we see Marley Middlebrooks check in for the Saints, the freshman from Panama City, Florida, graduate of Crawford Mosley High School. Fitzpatrick serve. Schellenberg sets it up for Brookins. Blocked! Looks like a tag team effort of Sheedy and Boyd. The Saints come out firing here in the second set. It's 5-1. And Coach Fox already calling a timeout here in the second set. She used her 2 pretty quickly in the first. She's trying to do anything to stop the bleeding. We're going to take a break here. We'll be back in about 30, 45 seconds or so. Don't go anywhere as we continue the second set right after this. right, fans, we're out of the timeout. The first break here in the second set. It's been all Saints to start this one. They're up 5-1 in the set, 1-0 overall. As we see Addie Island check into the game for the first time for the Crusaders. Addie Island, an outside hitter, sophomore from Roswell, Georgia. This one's set up for Sultanfuss. Oh, well played there by Sheedy. Nonetheless, able to be played by the Crusaders. Lily Marsh digs it out. And that's a great point for the Crusaders. Back and forth from the start, just out of reach of Cassidy Bloom. And Belmont Abbey picks up their second point of the set. This time it's Island, played by Bloom. Sheedy setting it up. Oh, just into the net. That was a great chance for Marley Middlebrooks to get in on the action for the Saints. Coming into play, Middlebrooks only 1 kill. That's her lone point as well, but we're interested to see what she has in store for us. I'm sure Coach Lopez is thinking, well, we've looked good. Why not give her a chance? As Sheedy makes a nice play on the ball. Middlebrooks again, it's deflected. Boyd able to play it over. Schoenberg to Sultanfuss, just a little too strong, out of bounds. And the Saints are back up by 3. The bench letting Marley Middlebrooks hear it. Here's her first serve of the day. Well done to get it over. Marsh plays it. Schellenberger setting up Case. Fitzpatrick was waiting for it. Schellenberger. Played nicely by Bassler. Sheedy sets it up for Boyd. Just jumped a little too early. Oh, that was there. The Crusaders a bit out of position. Boyd and Sheedy just off the mark a tiny, tiny bit. And we will go the other way. So Lola Sultanfuss on the serve. Lola plays that to Bassler. Sheedy setting it up for Bloom. So much power behind that one from Bloom. A little too much. And it goes out of bounds. And look at the Crusaders. Since that timeout, they've won 4 of 5 points. The deficit is only 1. Lola once again. Sheedy setting it up. It's Fitzpatrick. Just sends it over. And a missed time jump from Chloe Lauder. Heads up play by Amelia Fitzpatrick to extend the Saints lead to 2. It's now 7-5 as Ella Wicker checks in. Wicker on the serve. Case able to play it. Lauder able to play it. It deflects off of Cassidy Bloom just at the feet of Wicker. As we've said, Wicker, when she's in the game, it feels like good things happen. But I love the infusion of youth that the Saints have. You have Wicker, Fitzpatrick, even Lainey Mack, who we haven't talked about, some very high-quality sophomores. And then you love getting what you're seeing from Marley Middlebrooks, as Cassidy Bloom's shot is played by Case. And another miscommunication there. That time it was Nickel and Marsh. Almost like an infielder and an outfielder in baseball. Someone's got to call off the other one. And the point goes to the Saints. So here's Sheedy. Schellenberger setting it up for Case. Deflects off the net. Easy play for Sheedy. Cassidy Bloom deflects off the hands of Chloe Lauder. Another point courtesy of Cassidy Bloom. Sheedy fires one just a little too much on that one. Very well read by Addie Island of Belmont Abbey to let it go. It's now 9-7, Flagler still in front. Tyler Case on the serve. Bloom digs it out. Sheedy sets it up for Bloom. It deflects. Oh, what a play there. That was Riley Nickel able to save that point. Meredith Dixon almost had that one. This time Bloom's just going to send it over. Another nice play by Nickel. And that time Island hits it right into the net. A nice back and forth point there, but it culminates with the Saints. So Cassidy Bloom on the serve. Flagler leads 10-7 here in the second set. Bloom sends it over, played by Case. Island sends it over, it's blocked. Looks like it was Stemkowski and or Dixon there. Middlebrooks plays it to Sheedy. Now Dixon finishes in the corner on the near side. We've seen a few good opportunities for Meredith Dixon, but that time perfectly placed with a ton of power. Nothing the Crusaders defense could have done about that one. Bloom sends it over. Schellenberg setting it up for Island. Just hits it off the fingertips into the net. And it's another point for the Saints. The lead swells up to 5. Bloom at the feet of Case. They're just going to have to send it over. Bloom makes a nice play. Sheedy as well. And the Saints looked all types of out of sorts there as that one just deflects into the net off of Stemkowski. And a much-needed point for Belmont Abbey. The deficit is back to 4, now 12-8. Lily Marsh fires that one over with some steam. Bassler able to get it back in play. And Bloom, a well-placed free ball right in the middle of the Crusaders' defense. That one's blocked. Middlebrooks, Sheedy, and now Dixon into the hands of Tyler Case. Island once again on that near side, really struggling to get it over the net. And the Saints will take it now 13-8. They remain in front. Lexi Bassler fires one just over the net, dug out by Nickel. They're setting up Island again. This time she's able to finish as it deflects off of the left arm of Marley Middlebrooks. So Ella Schellenberg on the serve this time for the Crusaders. Excuse me, I thought that was Jordan Berglund. That was Marley Middlebrooks. That's a good sign for Middlebrooks if you're getting confused with Jordan Berglund. Nonetheless, easy point for the Crusaders. And Schellenberg will do it again. And that one easily played by Middlebrooks. She just lets it go over on the far side. The Flagler lead back up to 4. Fitzpatrick checks back in for Meredith Dixon. Marsh able to dig that out. Here's Schellenberg. Setting up for Island. Well played by Fitzpatrick. My goodness. And this violation goes against Lexi Bassler and the Saints. She knew it as well immediately. Maddie Island on the serve. Hits it right into the net. Maddie Island really getting to be good friends with that net so far. She's having a lot of opportunities, and you can tell it's just a timing issue. Not a skill, not a talent issue, purely timing. Marley Middlebrooks. Played by Island. This time it's Sultenfuss, dug out nicely by Fitzpatrick. Cassidy Bloom sends it over just out of bounds. It was out of the reach of Island. She's lucky she didn't touch it. I'm loving what I'm seeing from Amelia Fitzpatrick. We mentioned it last year. A lot of assists for Fitzpatrick. A little bit of a different role. She's more of a defensive-minded player this season. And boy, does it suit her well. Here's Molly Boyd with a punishing finish. And that's Claire Sheedy and Molly Boyd making it look oh so easy. Ella Wicker on the serve. Sends it softly over, played by Tyler Case. And that time, yeah, they're going to say it was out of bounds off the hands of Adeline Mezenot. 17-12 Saints here in the second set. Looking to go up 2-0 early on. Once again, Wicker on the serve. This one goes directly into the net. And the ball will go the other way. So here's Riley Nickel. Bloom plays it back. It's off the ceiling. And Marley Middlebrooks not used to that ceiling yet. She will in a few years. Just bounces directly off the ceiling into the ground. That's a big point for the Crusaders. They haven't led in this second set, but they have done a very nice job of just hanging around. Stemkowski rattles around off the hands of Schellenberg. She's able to get it over. Sheedy setting it up for Bloom. And another violation here. They're going to get Riley Nickel on that one. And the first time we've seen Lainey Mack check into the game. Lainey Mack had an exceptional freshman season last year. Haven't seen her as much this year, but always fun when Lainey Mack checks into the game. This time the lefty Mack sends it over. Marsh hits it up into the ceiling. It deflects around in between Schellenberger and Nickel. And we've seen that go both ways so far. You never know what's going to happen when the ball gets into the rafters here at Flagler Gymnasium. Mack spinning the ball on her finger, sends it over. Marsh able to play it. Cassidy Bloom was ready for it. Well done by Cassidy Bloom. No one reacted in time on Belmont Abbey. Bloom was ready for it. Amelia Fitzpatrick loves it on the sideline. She's dancing around. And we're going to get a timeout called here by the Crusaders. So before we take a break, I want to thank Moe's Southwest Grill. Once again, you have a lot of options for your Southwestern cuisine. But if I have anything to say about it, you got to go to Moe's. We'll be back in a second, folks. The score, Flagler 20, Belmont Abbey 14. Coming out of the timeout here in the second set, Flagler leads the match overall 1-0. They're out to a commanding lead here in the second set. Hey, if you need a timeout, check out St. Augustine Marina, boat sales and service. As someone who's used St. Augustine Marina, I can vouch for them. They are some phenomenal people over there. Lainey Mack's serve played easily by Stemkowski. Belmont Abbey just not quick enough to react. Stemkowski was ready for it immediately. It's been a nice run for Lainey Mack on the serves. She sends that one, and an ace for Lainey Mack. That could not have been placed any better, going cross court. And once again, Belmont Abbey just a little too slow to react. But my goodness, you gotta love what you're seeing from Lainey Mack. Dug out by Case. Schellenberger setting her up. This time in between Middlebrooks and Mack. There was nothing they could do about that one. And that's the type of play we were expecting to see a lot from Tyler Case today. Haven't seen it that much. The Saints have had a great plan for her defensively. But Case still so strong up front. She can beat you in a lot of different ways. Mack setting it up for Stemkowski. And that's what we're used to seeing from Lainey Mack. It's been a lot of Claire Sheedy in the assist department. Last year it was a mixture of Fitzpatrick and Mack. What you got to love about the Saints is the depth. We haven't seen this in years from this squad. Here's Schellenberg, as this time Ella Brazil jumps a little bit too early. And it's up to set point here for the Saints. It was Cassidy Bloom serving on the set point in the first. She'll do it again here in the second. Bloom sends it over. Digging it out is Nickel. Well done there as she just sends it over. Mack sets it up for Middlebrooks. Oh, just missed. Hits it off the outside of her hand into the net. Boy, this place was ready to erupt if it went Mack to Middlebrooks. You know the entire Flagler bench wants Middlebrooks to get that finish. Here's Mallory Swain on the serve. First time we've said her name today for Belmont Abbey. Schellenberg setting it up for Island. Blocked nicely. Here's Mack setting up Stemkowski with the finish. And the Saints take set 2 by 9 points. As they win it 25-16 in dominant fashion. They are getting better as this match goes along. So we'll take a break as we get ready for the third set. Before we do, I tell y'all every time, you got to check out my friends over at Applebee's. Hey, half-price appetizers. As a former and current client of Applebee's, very regular attendee. Nightly 10 p.m. to close, half-price appetizers. You cannot beat that. So check out Applebee's of St. Augustine. It's always good in the neighborhood. We'll be back in a couple minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. Third set coming up next. All right, fans, we're out of the break now. If you're just joining us, you're a little late, but I won't judge you. It's 2-0 overall. Flagler has been dominant so far. took the first set 25-19, and then in the second set 25-16. Have to shout out the job of Laney Mack in the serving department. They went on a little run the minute Laney Mack came into the game. Seeing some new faces as we saw Jordan Norwood check in. A fun fact, Jordan Norwood's father, he was drafted first round from my favorite team, the Philadelphia Phillies, back in 1983. So Jordan Norwood, immediately a personal favorite of mine, of course, but clearly comes from an athletic family. Also checking in, Cecilia Robert had a big role last year, the senior from San Juan, Puerto Rico. First time we're seeing her today. It's Ella Schellenberg on the serve as we get set for the third set. Sheedy setting it up for Meredith Dixon, sneaks it just inside the line. Brilliant finish from Meredith Dixon there. As we see Bridget Potter check out, the freshman from Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, getting some valuable minutes right now. Lexi Bassler on the serve. Case, Schellenberg, teeter as it deflects off of Boyd and Bloom. Sheedy sets it up for Bloom, and it ends up just inside the line. And it's another Saints point. It deflected off the net. You couldn't tell where it was going to land. But good fortune favors the Saints. Bassler once again fires that one. Case was waiting for it. They set it up for Teeter. Well played by Sheedy. This time Sultan Fuss. Easy play for Bassler. Molly Boyd on the finish. Robert plays it to Sheedy. Now it's Bloom again. And a back and forth play as Mallory Swain able to get it over to Kaylin Myers with a lefty finish. That's as back and forth of a point as you're going to see. Flagler still in the lead, but Belmont Abbey finally on the board here in the third set. So it's Kylie Coughlin, the lefty on the serve, dug out by Robert. Molly Boyd on the finish. Oh, deflects back just out of the reach of Bloom and Bassler. The Crusaders take that point. We're all knotted up at 2. Sheedy setting it up for Bloom. Dug out brilliantly by Ella Schellenberg. This time it's Case, deflects it off of the hands of Dixon and Boyd. And for what I believe is the first time today, don't fact check me on this, folks, the Crusaders have the lead. They have not held a lead at any point in this game. Once again, don't fact check me, but if my memory serves me correctly, it's been all Flagler from the get-go. Here's Sheedy setting it up for Bloom. She'll just free ball that one over. Sultan Fuss right into the face of Lexi Bassler. Great reaction time by Bassler to get some hands on that one. And the Crusaders showing some signs of life here. They're up 4-2 here in the third set. Kylie Coughlin again, dug out by Bloom. Sheedy sets it up for Dixon. Dixon with the finish. She has been excellent on that right side for the Saints. She'll check out in favor of Amelia Fitzpatrick this time. Saints trail 4-3 in the third set, but they did win the first 2. If they can win this one, they'll go home early as Fitzpatrick sends that one into the net. Lola Sultan Fuss just barely gets it over. Bloom plays it to Sheedy. It's Molly Boyd with the finish. And when Molly Boyd gets in rhythm like that, it is hard to stop her. Deflects it off a couple of Crusaders and out of bounds. And the deficit's back to 1. Cassidy Bloom fires that one at the feet of Case. They're setting it up that time. It's Kaylin Myers. It's deflected, and Robert picks up her first point of the contest. And we mentioned it earlier, the depth that Flagler has this year, something they haven't had in this capacity at least in quite a while. So many different players who can play minutes for Coach Lopez's team. Oh, just out of bounds. Cassidy Bloom a little bit too strong there. As we'll see Riley Nickel check back into the game for the Crusaders. Belmont Abbey up 6-5 here early in the third set. Nickel fires it over just out of bounds. Read well by Bassler and Robert. And we're all knotted up at 6. Molly Boyd on the serve, something you don't see all that often. And a lot of strength on that one from Boyd. It goes out of bounds. So some substitutions. Bridget Potter back in on the near side for the Saints. Potter, once again, the freshman, one of many promising freshmen on this team. They fake it to Potter. It's Robert, played nicely by Fitzpatrick. Robert again, it deflects. Teeter's ready for it. Teeter trying to finish. Bassler, oh, well played there. Bridget Potter with some great reaction time. Unfortunately, deflects off a Saint and out of bounds, so the point goes to the Crusaders. Back and forth there, though. Lots of love from this group that the Saints have out there. Tyler Case on the serve. Oh, that is a clear miss hit. She knew it immediately. Once again, just looks like another timing issue for the Crusaders as Fitzpatrick checks out in favor of Meredith Dixon. Claire Sheedy on the serve. The Peach Belt Conference leader in assists. And this one's knocked out of bounds. It looked like it was Chloe Louder, the Crusader, to deflect it. And the Saints tie up the set at 8. Claire Sheedy once again. Schellenberg sends it over to Teeter. Softly hits it over. Sheedy, was ready for it. Schellenberger once again to Teeter. This time deflects off of Potter and Dixon into the ground. And the Crusaders are back out in front. Mallory Swain, a lot of power behind that one. Sheedy setting it up for Robert. Ooh, dug out nicely by Case. Teeter again. Dug out by Sheedy. Well played as it deflects around. Robert just had to softly hit it over, but unfortunately directly into the net. Flagler trying to go home early. The Crusaders trying to keep us all here a little bit longer. Sheedy sets it up for Cecilia. That one deflects inbounds. And it's another point for Belmont Abbey. Some valuable minutes for the young players on the Saints roster. What do they do when they're down and how do they respond? Sheedy's shot goes over. The Crusaders playing it around. They're going to say they hit it one too many times. I thought so too. But then again, folks, I am wrong about a lot. 11-9, Belmont Abbey leads here in the third. Cecilia Robert on the serve. A lot of power on that one. Nickel able to play it. Teeter's shot played nicely by Bassler. This time it's Dixon deflected. She steps out of the way, lets it go out of bounds. And that far side has belonged to Meredith Dixon throughout the game today. Dixon picks up kill number 5. Oh, that was well played. Bassler makes a nice play on it, but Ella Schellenberg, very crafty finish. Bassler almost able to dig it out with one hand. So that's about as tough as they come. Speaking of Schellenberg, she will be on the serve. Smacking the ball into the court. Not sure what the ball did to her. Bloom, Sheedy. And this time it's a flex off of Schellenberg, and Bridget Potter picks up her first point of the contest. The Flagler bench giving their cheers for Bridget Potter. You love to see that. Potter coming into play today had no points on the year, so nice to see her enter the stat sheet as that shot goes out of bounds on the far side. We'll see Kylie Coughlin check in for the Crusaders. Coughlin serve, played by Bloom. Sheedy sets it up for Robert, softly hits it over, easy play for Tyler Case. This time it's deflected, Molly Boyd. Looks like it may have been a group effort between Boyd and Bloom nonetheless. When Boyd has been in, the Crusaders have had problems scoring points. 13-12, Belmont Abbey leads. Fitzpatrick on the serve. Played backward by Case. This one almost out of bounds. And they're going to say violation. Point goes to the Saints. And we're tied up at 13 apiece here midway through the third set. Fitzpatrick again. Sends it just barely out of bounds. Late reaction from Mallory Swain, but a smart decision there to just get out of the way. And the Crusaders are back in front by 1. Here's Lola Sultanfuss. Fires that one to Cassidy Bloom. Sheedy stuffs the front line of the Crusaders, and that's all Claire Sheedy needed to do. It rattles back, and out of bounds. And the Saints tie up this set. If you're Coach Lopez, you got to love this. Haven't really needed Stemkowski or Berglund throughout the match. Able to keep them healthy and fresh, as there's an easy point misplayed by Tyler Case of the Crusaders. And although this set's been dominated by Belmont Abbey, Flagler back out in front, now 15-14. Cassidy Bloom. Schellenberger sends it over for Case. Played nicely by Bloom. Sheedy setting it up for Robert, and it's a flex out of bounds. Cecilia Robert picking up the point for the Saints. She helps increase their lead to 2. Waiting to see if Tony Fox uses a timeout if the Saints score this one. And Cassidy Bloom puts it in between a few Crusaders. That was Coughlin and Schellenberg. And hey, I was right about something. Tony Fox calls their first timeout of the set. And that'll lead us into a timeout as well. Before we let you go, since I'm a hungry boy, we got to shout out Carmelo's Pizza Deli Subs at Carmelo's Pizzeria. And hey, if you're in the market for a new vehicle, why wouldn't you check out Atlantic Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram? I was in the market a few months ago. I won't say who I bought from because no free ads, but I did check out a few products courtesy of Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. I have to say the experience at Atlantic Dodge, second to none. Highly recommend. We'll stick with you here. Why take a break when you can listen to the beautiful music here in the arena? The Saints out of the timeout. Boy, are they looking hungry to finish this one off and go enjoy their Saturday night. Hey, if you're hungry, Well, how about one more sponsor just because we love them so much? Check out 123 Burger House. Grillin' and chillin' only with 123 Burger House. So the Saints lead 17-14. It's Cassidy Bloom on the serve. Saints on a nice little run here. They were trailing for the majority of the set. As Schellenberger sets it up for Lauder, blocked by Boyd and falls at the feet of Kylie Coughlin. It's another Saints point. Tony Fox making an adjustment for Belmont Abbey. Sarah Sass, that's a fun name, checks in for the first time. Freshman from Louisville, Kentucky. Cassidy Bloom sends it over, played by Case. Sass sets it up. Bassler able to dig it out. They're going to say violation on the Saints. Point goes to Belmont Abbey. And they'll stop the bleeding ever so slightly as it's back to a 3-point set. Played by Robert. Sheedy sets her up. Into the ground. Cecilia Robert deflects it off Chloe Lauder, the middle blocker. And the Saints' magic number is 6 as Bridget Potter checks back into the game. Molly Boyd on the serve again. Last time didn't go so well. And this time, once again, a lot of power. She's able to keep it in bounds. Case, oh, what a nice touch from Tyler Case. She's had some phenomenal plays so far in this contest. None better than that one. And Case, only a sophomore, so plenty of time left in her career. As she sends that one played by Robert. Sheedy sets it up for Fitzpatrick, just a little too low. Hits it into the net. And it's another point for Belmont Abbey. Case fires it. Bloom tries to dig it out. Just hits it off the outside of her right knuckle. So out of bounds, the Crusaders on a 3-point run here. It's now 19-18. And close your ears when you hear that, Red Sox fans. Tyler Case. Played by Robert. Sheedy sets it up for Robert. Another point for Cecilia Robert. Boy, she's gotten better and better as this match has gone on. The Saints at 20. They lead by 2. Claire Sheedy on the serve. Deflects off the net. And an ace from Claire Sheedy with a little help from the net. Nonetheless, we will take it as Tony Fox calls another timeout, her last one of the set. And we will take a break as well, for real this time. 21-18, Flagler in front. The end of the third set coming up next. All right, fans, so we're back on the court here in the third set. Flagler up 2-0 on the match overall. They lead the third set 21-18 over the Crusaders of Belmont Abbey. Belmont Abbey trying to extend this match. They don't want to go back to Belmont, North Carolina just yet. Like we said, Flagler trying to start their Saturday night a little early. Claire Sheedy on the serve. Fires that one. It's played by Mallory Swain. They set it up for Teeter. Teeter able to just send it over This time it's Meredith Dixon again on that far side. What a match for Meredith Dixon. Picks up kill number 6. And Dixon, formerly of the University of New Hampshire, man, going from the snow to the sunshine. She's got to be happy to be here in Florida. We're happy to have her as Swain sends one up into the ceiling. Teeter sends it over. That was a beautiful shot by Teeter. That is one of the more challenging points you're going to see. Poor angle, about 8 feet behind the net. Still able to place it perfectly at the feet of Cassidy Bloom. Bloom sends it over to Sheedy. This time it's Robert, just out of bounds. Didn't see what happened there. Claire Sheedy fell down a little awkwardly. She's going to limp her way out of the game. Looks like she's all right, likely just precautionary. Lainey Mack will check in. And the officials give their signal. So once again, Mallory Swain sends it over, played by Bloom. Mack sends it over for Dixon. Easy play for Riley Nickel. Mack, this time it's Bloom. Bloom with a perfectly placed shot. Excellent touch in the middle of the 6 defenders of Belmont Abbey. Cassidy Bloom has been fun to watch this weekend. Robert on the serve. The magic number for the Saints is 2. Schellenberg sends it over for Teeter, blocked. And they're going to say point to Meredith Dixon and the Saints. And get on your feet, folks. It's officially match point. Case hits it up. Schellenberger setting it up for Teeter. It's blocked into the ground. Bridget Potter, the freshman, finishes this one for the Saints. What a fitting ending. Bridget Potter plays some valuable minutes and picks up the point that seals it for the Saints. And it's a quick one here in St. Augustine as Flagler picks up their 4th victory on the year to improve to 1 over 500, now 4-3. Unfortunately for Belmont Abbey, they fall to 1-7 on the year. It was a bit of a tough weekend for them, but they have a lot to look forward to. A strong showing this weekend from the Crusaders. So it'll be a while till we're with you again, at least a month. It was a pleasure having you with us here in St. Augustine. For all of us here at Flagler Athletics, I'm Kyle McCarthy. Until next time, we say so long.